The bazaar opened at twilight, when the air shimmered between light and dark and the stalls began to breathe. Lanterns blinked awake one by one, casting their honeyed glow on cobblestones slick with memory. Spices whispered from clay bowls, perfumes drifted like rumors, and above it all, beyond the scent of saffron and smoke, the faint hum of magic trembled through the air, the kind that makes you forget your name for a moment before you remember it again. Lira walked among the merchants with her hands tucked into her sleeves. She had learned long ago that hands reveal too much, the tremor of fear, the twitch of want, the way the fingers linger over what they cannot have. Her shadow followed obediently behind her then, or so she thought. "Care to trade, little wanderer?" crooned a man made of mirrors, his smile fractured a dozen ways. On his table lay trinkets shaped from reflections, a laugh bottled in glass, a whisper sealed in wax, a heartbeat caught in amber. "No trades today," she said, voice even. "Ah," he tilted his head, shards of light glinting across her face. "But you've already made one." Lira frowned, turning, and froze. The space behind her feet was empty. The lamplight touched the ground, but found no echo of her form. Where her shadow should have been was nothing but bare stone and dust. The realization came slow, like a bruise blooming beneath the skin. She staggered back, the hum of the bazaar swelling to a roar in her ears. Shadows rustled underfoot, belonging to others, slipping in and out of candlelight like curious animals, but hers was gone. "What do you mean, already made one?" she demanded. The mirror man's smile deepened, fracturing further. "You traded it," he said, simply. "Perhaps without knowing. Many do. The market takes what is offered, not what is intended." She followed a faint trail of shimmer, a ripple of light that might once have been hers, until she reached a tent stitched from soot and moonlight. Inside, candles burned blue, and each flame threw shapes that did not belong to the candles themselves. Behind the counter sat a woman with ink-black eyes and a voice soft as paper, tearing. "You've lost something," she said. "My shadow," Lira answered. The woman tilted her head. "Lost or sold? I didn't sell anything." "Nothing here is taken," the merchant murmured. "The bazaar only accepts what your heart has already agreed to give." "I never agreed to give my shadow." "Ah," she said, smiling faintly, "then perhaps your heart spoke when your mouth did not." She opened a cabinet carved with shifting symbols. Shelves upon shelves of jars lined the inside, each holding a folded shadow fluttering faintly against the glass like trapped birds. "It's already been claimed," the woman said finally, "traded at the night auction." "By who?" "The collector," she whispered. "He buys what people try to forget. Shadows, names, voices. He lives at the edge of dawn, where even the market fears to go." Lira stared at the glowing jars, horror and wonder mixing in her chest. "Then I'll go there," she said. "I'll take mine back." Past the stalls, the bazaar gave way to mist. An iron gate rose from the earth, its hinges groaning as she pushed it open. Beyond it, towers of glass glimmered in gray light, each filled with moving silhouettes. The air tasted of forgotten dreams. At the top of a hill, she found him. The collector stood in a pool of dawnlight, surrounded by hundreds of murmuring shadows. His form shimmered like smoke, neither solid nor insubstantial. "You've come for your shadow," he said, as if greeting an old friend. "You stole it." "No," he said gently. "You gave it. The night you wished to forget, I heard your plea, and there it was, her shadow. Taller now, its edges sharp and alive. It smiled at her with her own mouth. "I only gave it because I didn't understand," Lira said. "Understanding is overrated," murmured the collector. "Peace comes quicker to those who forget." He gestured, and the mist parted to reveal a tower of glass. Inside, shapes drifted, some still, some weeping. One turned toward her. Its outline was slender, hair long and fluid. Lyra's heart clenched. "Mother?" she whispered. "She came here first," said the collector. "She could not bear her sorrow, so she gave it to me." As you did, her mother's shadow lifted a hand to the glass. A voice whispered through the air, "Let me stay. It's easier here." Lira pressed her palms to the glass. "You're trapped!" The collector's tone was almost tender. "She is safe." As you could be, her shadow placed a hand on her shoulder. "This world is kinder, Lira. No grief, no pain, but no love," she said softly. "No truth." The collector's expression flickered. "Then claim your truth, if you can." The floor split beneath her feet. She was back in her childhood home, rain streaking the windows. Candlelight flickered. Her mother's back was turned, a satchel on the table. "Stay," her younger self whispered. "Please don't go." Her mother turned, tears tracing her cheeks. "One day you'll understand," she said. And then she reached for the wall, and her shadow peeled away, following her into the night. Lira trembled. "I thought she abandoned me." Her shadow stepped forward. "She gave herself to protect you." Her pain was too heavy to carry, and too dangerous to leave in your hands. The memory blurred, dissolving into gold light. The collector's voice echoed, "Remember." "I see it now," Lira said. "She didn't leave. She loved me so much, she tried to save me from remembering." The shadow's eyes, her eyes, were soft. "And now? Now I want to remember." Light flared. Her shadow merged with her, warm and heavy and whole. Every sorrow returned, the ache, the love, the loss. But beneath it all, strength bloomed. When the light faded, she stood complete. The collector bowed his head. "Few return whole," he murmured. "Fewer by choice." "Then stop taking what isn't yours," she said. He smiled, almost proud. If only they all said that. And then the world folded away. The bazaar lay hushed beneath the first breath of morning. Lyra's shadow moved beside her again, sure and steady. The market had changed. Its hunger had quieted. The tents were still, their colors faded to gold. Only the mirror man remained, polishing a single shard of glass. "You've traded and won," he said, "a rare thing. What will happen to the collector? He endures. There will always be those who'd rather forget, but you've reminded the world that memory can heal as much as it hurts." Lira smiled faintly. "Then that's enough." She turned toward the merchant of lost silhouettes, whose stall was half empty. "My mother's shadow," she said. "May I take it?" The merchant studied her. "Are you ready to carry her sorrow?" "Yes, she carried mine." The woman opened a jar. A faint silhouette drifted upward, dissolving into light that sank into Lyra's chest. For a heartbeat, her mother's voice whispered, "Walk in the light, my little one, but never forget the dark." At the heart of the bazaar, the mosaic sun glowed faintly beneath her feet. Lira placed the mirror man's shard upon it. The stone warmed, shimmered, and then melted into light. The bazaar sighed, tents unraveling, lanterns fading, perfumes thinning into the wind. The market of intangibles was ending, its long night undone. "One trade undone," a voice whispered, "one soul made whole." When the light dimmed, only an open square remained, dew-bright and empty. Outside the gates, the city shimmered under the new sun. Children's laughter echoed down the streets. The world felt heavier now, yes, but real, grounded, alive. Lira walked until she reached the hill overlooking the rooftops. Her shadow walked beside her, its edge brushing hers like the wing of a bird. "What happens now?" it asked. She smiled. "We live." The wind stirred the grass. For a fleeting moment, a second shadow fell beside hers, slender, familiar, a woman's. Lira didn't turn. She only whispered, "Thank you." And when she looked again, the shadow was gone, folded into hers. As she descended toward the city, her shadow stretched beside her in the growing light. Two silhouettes, one body, one memory, moving as one. Above her, the sky gleamed clear and unbroken. The bazaar was gone, but its hum lingered in her heart, a promise that the forgotten could always be found again if one dared to remember. And in that quiet dawn, the girl who had traded her shadow walked toward the day, whole at last.